where forever begins. The train hummed beneath Rosalie's feet, the steady rhythm rolling through her like a heartbeat she had finally learned to trust. Outside the window, the prairie stretched endlessly, golden, quiet, forgiving. She leaned her forehead against the glass, watching the horizon bend gently into sky. Caleb sat beside her, his hand covering hers. He no longer carried the weight of the sheriff's star. He carried only her. For the first time in years, his eyes were soft, unshadowed by duty. "You doing all right?" he asked, voice warm as the morning light. Rosalie nodded. "More than all right, it still feels unreal." Caleb smiled. "Then we'll let it be real together." The train carried them forward, toward Silver Creek, toward the honeymoon neither had ever believed they'd deserve. The little cabin stood nestled beneath towering cottonwoods, sunlight flickering through leaves like scattered diamonds. When Caleb opened the door, the scent of cedar and warm dust drifted out, welcoming them home. Rosalie stepped inside slowly, like someone entering a memory she hadn't lived yet. "It's beautiful," she whispered. Caleb watched her, not the room. "You make it that way." They unpacked side by side, their laughter echoing softly within the wooden walls. Rosalie's dresses brushed gently against Caleb's shirts in the tiny wardrobe, their lives already folding into each other. That night, as fireflies lit the world beyond the windows, they walked hand in hand along Silver Creek. The water moved softly over smooth stones, singing the quietest lullaby. "I spent so long feeling like I belonged everywhere except where I wanted to be," Rosalie admitted. Caleb brushed a strand of hair from her face. "And where's that now?" She met his eyes without fear. "With you." He kissed hers low, reverent, as if he were sealing a vow no preacher had spoken. Lamplight glowed warm inside the cabin, softening every edge. Caleb sat beside Rosalie on the small bed, the air heavy with the smell of pine and summer rain. His fingers traced her jaw gently, as though memorizing her in this new life. "No more running," he murmured. "No more fear," she answered, leaning into him. Their embrace deepened, not rushed, not taken, but given. The world outside grew quiet, holding still as they found each other completely. The night wrapped them in peace, a peace both had bled to earn. Wrapped in Caleb's arms later, Rosalie listened to his heartbeat, steady and sure. "This is where forever begins," he whispered against her hair. And she believed him. Morning light spilled across the cabin, warm and golden. Rosalie woke to Caleb watching her, his eyes soft with a tenderness she had never thought possible. "Morning," she said, stretching against him. "Better than morning," he replied. "It's our beginning." They stepped outside together, bare feet brushing cool grass. Silver Creek sparkled beneath the sun, endless and alive. Rosalie took Caleb's hand, threading her fingers through his. "Whatever comes next," she said, "we face it together." Caleb kissed her gentle, certain, endless. And in the quiet of that golden morning, they knew. Home wasn't a place. Home was love. Home was them. Inside. Lamplight warmed the wooden walls, turning everything golden. Rosalie sat on the bed, brushing her hair. Caleb stood in the doorway, watching her like she was something precious he never believed he'd deserve. "You're staring," she teased. just memorizing. He crossed the room and knelt before her, his hands cupping her face. Their kiss, deep and warm, slow, the kind of love that didn't rush, didn't take, only cherished. The night grew thick and tender around them, as they chose each other again and again, fully, quietly, completely. Sunlight spilled across the cabin floor, casting patches of gold on their tangled blankets. Caleb woke first, brushing his fingers through Rosalie's hair. She stirred with a sleepy smile. "You're up early." Didn't want to miss a moment. They made breakfast, together, eggs frying in a cast-iron pan, fresh bread warming. Rosalie laughed as Caleb stole a kiss instead of the spoon she offered. It felt domestic, soft, new. Outside, the day stretched wide with possibility. Their forever had begun gently, like dawn spreading over the valley. The following days settled into a rhythm neither had ever known. Caleb chopped wood, Rosalie read on the porch swing. They cooked together, walked together, said little sometimes because peace didn't need words. One afternoon, Rosalie looked up from her book to see Caleb watching her with a look she once feared she'd never see. Directed at her. "What?" she asked. "Just you look happy." She set her book down, stood, and walked straight into his arms. "I am." Caleb kissed her forehead. "That's all I ever wanted." A soft storm rolled in one night, tapping against the roof like gentle fingers. Rosalie stood at the window, lightning illuminating the distant hills. Caleb came behind her, arms circling her waist. "You all right?" he asked. "I thought storms would always scare me," she whispered. "Too many bad memories." Caleb rested his chin on her shoulder. "Then we'll make new ones." They sat by the hearth, wrapped in blankets, sharing stories they'd never spoken, aloud, fears, mistakes, dreams. Each confession softened the next. Each touch steadied them. The storm passed. The quiet after felt like healing. The next morning dawned impossibly clear. Dew sparkled on the grass like scattered diamonds. Caleb led Rosalie to the creek, their hands intertwined. "I've made vows before," Caleb said, "but none that mattered like this." Rosalie looked up, breath-catching. Caleb rested his forehead against hers. "Wherever life takes us, I'll choose you every day. Not because I should, because I want to." Her voice trembled. "And I'll stand with you always, no matter where the road bends." Their kiss sealed the promise, quiet but unbreakable. By midday, the valley hummed softly with birdsong. Rosalie sat in Caleb's lap on the porch swing, her head against his chest, his arms wrapped securely around her. "Caleb," she whispered, "I think this is the first place I've ever truly belonged." He pressed his lips to her hair. "You belong with me, and I belong with you." The swing creaked. The wind rustled the cottonwoods. The world felt whole. "Then this," Rosalie whispered, lifting her face to kiss him, "is where forever begins." And it did. Like and subscribe. Aurora Tale Wild West. God bless.